Jamaican herbs and spices add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
I am sure sports. You know me there. I'm coast to coast representing. I mean, I say this is righteous representing for Omar. You don't know, come get your sports over here from near and far. Boy. Me say I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know the game play, that me not say it. If me never seen a game, me not know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here. For the day done, you are gonna love over yourself.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crapper players. We are good enough. Remember to like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment. Let me know what your thoughts are. All right, greetings and welcome to I Am Sure Sports. I am your host, Man is Man, and it's indeed my pleasure to have you back with us again for one more show today. This is our second show. Won't be a very long one. We just interviewed Roger Creed, former national footballer. And if you have not watched that, if you didn't watch it live, I want to recommend that you go and watch it. Watch the replay. It's a very good show, very good interview, very good reviews. And he shared a lot about his time playing at Tivoli Gardens, representing the national team, going to college, and just, what he thinks about football now in Jamaica. So a lot of advice for the younger footballers. As you know, Roger Creed was and probably is one of the skillest wingers that ever represented this country up to this point. And will there be others? We don't know yet. And our program, the Legends Corner, is looking at our footballing legends, and yeah, he's one of them. But we have just started this new part of our program, which is looking at rising star or future stars. And today I'll be having someone, you would have seen it in the description, but you don't know his name yet. But I'm going to introduce him, so I invite you to come on to the stream. But before we do that, let me say a big thank you to our sponsors. The sponsors for this video is Trick Nick, right? Trick Nick Cooks. They are a Jamaican-owned company that operates in Canada, Brampton, Ontario, Canada, and they sell jerk products. They sell paste and jerk marinade and jerk sauce for everything that you want to jerk. And they have this wonderful special going on that they're partnering with I Am Sure Sports, where you get 25% off on all their products. And all you have to do is go to www.tricknick.com and enter the code I Am Sure Sports 001. The link is in the description. So check them out and show them some love. Tell them you heard about them from I Am Sure Sports. All right. So big up and thank you. In the comment section, good to have you on. Just come on, share with us what your thoughts are. Let me know that you're there. All right. Watching and listening. And so without any further ado, I'm going to invite to the screen Kyle Aaron Braithwaite, and he's going to speak to us. And then at the back end of it, I'll allow a couple of you to call in if you have questions for him. All right, Kyle, welcome to I Am Sure Sports. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you for having me.
I am doing good. So good having you, my friend. This is just something new that we started. I think you are the fourth person that we are actually interviewing in this part of our show, right? We had one of Jamaica's top young swimmers. Her name is Zanita Alvaranga, and she has broken all the junior records in swimming. We had Maya Mitchell, who
Mhm.
is out there in Carolina. She plays on a team over there. We had Lacey and Murray, who is a reggae girl who is now at Navarra College, and then Sione Grenian, who is a track athlete, and now you.
Oh,
So
it's
you're
an honor. It's
gracing
an honor.
gracing the stage. So I mean, I don't want to do the talking. I want to leave all the talking up to you. So I'll just ask the questions and you do all the talking. But tell us a little bit about you. Yeah, how old you are, what do you do? You know, are you an athlete, a 100-meter runner? Are you a footballer? What position you play? And yeah, and where you reside. So go ahead and tell us a little bit about you, Kyle.
So, as you introduced me, I am Kyle Braithwaite. I live in Charlotte, North Carolina. I am a footballer. I play center back. Um, yeah,
Oh, center back and D mid, or central
yes,
midfield.
yes, sir, yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So all right, so you're in South Carolina.
North Carolina.
Not North Carolina, all
Yes, sir.
right, and you're a center back, all right. When did you start playing football?
Oh, I've been playing, I think since I was 9. I'm 24 now, so long time now.
Okay. And you played uh, are you in an academy now? Are you connected to a team now? What stage is your
Currently,
career
I
at?
am unaffiliated because I had left college to try and go pro. So that's what I've been doing. I've been trialing. I've gotten to go to Portugal, Denmark, Spain. So that's what I've been doing in the meantime.
Okay, so you have been on trials in a couple of the Scandinavian
Yes, sir.
nation. Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
how did those trials work out?
There have been a lot of good ones and a lot of good results. Unfortunately, not having a EU passport, sometimes there can be issues with getting visas and things like that. And then, of course, with the coronavirus, that hasn't helped at all in my travels and things like that.
Okay, okay. So you can, what do you mean by because we're in Jamaica and I think sometimes we don't know like some of the issues relating to those things. So when you say you don't have a EU passport,
Yeah,
yeah.
a lot of countries they like for you to have kind of a direct connection to the country, or at least to Europe. So an EU passport is just a European passport, and without that, it can be significantly more difficult to get signed places. A lot of teams have uh, like a maximum number of people they can sign without EU passports, so competition becomes significantly more stiff, and just working through like work visas and things like that can be a lot more difficult without one.
Okay. All right. All right. Somebody is saying here, big up Charlotte, Queen City, where I
Yes, sir.
live. And they're bigging up you, the ball. All right. Awesome. So you are 24. And you know what all Jamaicans are going to ask. So where were you all this time? I mean, because we have never heard about you at the under U15 for Jamaica, U17, U20, U23. So where were you all this time?
Yeah. I played a little bit of youth at U17 level for Trinidad. My grandfather is from Trinidad and my grandmother is Jamaican. And my grandmother left pretty early. So it was just difficult finding a connection back to Jamaica. I didn't know anybody. A friend of mine, his father is kind of a scout for Trinidad. So that's how I ended up there. But I couldn't find a similar situation for Jamaica and just never really had an opportunity.
Okay, so you actually played for Trinidad at the U17 level.
Yes, sir.
And you're ready, you're sure you're ready now to switch allegiance to Jamaica? Aren't you afraid that the Trinis are going to come find you
No,
in
no, no. I'm not too scared.
Okay, all right. Okay, so you play U17 for Trinidad, but since that time you haven't played any more like international football at the senior or junior level,
No,
right?
sir.
Okay, all right. So what makes you now interested in representing um Jamaica, and not like because I'm asking you the question that many people are going to ask. Okay, seeing that you play for Trinidad at the U17, what would make you at this point want to give up that to come and represent Jamaica that many people believe it's way more probably competitive to get into
Mhm.
a Jamaica team with all what they call the English
Yep.
born players, the influx of English born players. So why wouldn't you, I think, take what people think is the easier route to international football? Yeah.
Well, I guess it's twofold. One is I love my grandma. She's been a role model of mine for so long that to get to represent the country she's from would be an absolute dream. And then second, on top of that is I'm not super interested in what's the easier route. I'm looking for who has the best football and how that's going to work. I mean, if I wanted to do it easy, I would have picked a different profession.
Okay. And someone is asking what club did you play for after college? Did you play for any club after college or
Yes, I played in Lulatano. It's a third division Portuguese team.
okay, you played in the third division in Portugal.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
because we just had a youngster from Jamaica that left Jamaica to play in the third division in Portugal as well.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
What was that?
it's a nice
What
place.
yeah, what was that experience like for you? I mean, leaving college, going to Portugal, and how long did you play there?
I played there for a little bit under a year. Again, the visa situation kind of we ran into issues there, and I ended up having to come back. But getting to play football in other countries, if you've ever been, if you lived in the U.S. and then left the U.S. doesn't value football a lot. We have so many other sports, baseball, football, uh, American football, things like that. That playing over there, you really feel the love and the enjoyment is just a completely different experience. So I had so much fun there and can't wait to go back to another country to play.
All right. So, how would you describe your game? Like if somebody said to you, what are your what is his game? Some center backs like to tackle, some are very good readers of the game. Some will say they are good passing out the back. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
How would you describe your game?
definitely. I would say what makes me a little bit different than the average center back or a more traditional center back is my ability on the ball. If you look at my bio, I'm 6 feet tall, 185 pounds. So I'm not a small man, but you can definitely find much bigger center backs. So I had to find what can separate me at a slightly smaller size. And I found that that's your decision making on the ball. It's your skill. It's the willingness to take the ball under pressure to try and possess it. So I would definitely say that my biggest strength and what really makes my game what it is what I do with the ball.
Okay, so you're very good on the ball and
Yes,
you're a
sir.
good reader of the
I
game.
like to think so.
All right, all right. So you have never really played in the MLS or the USL then,
No, sir.
because you went to Europe. You said after college to play. What
Yes,
was your
sir.
college career like?
I only played for 1 year. I went to University of Pittsburgh, had a good solid year, but then decided that if I really want to chase this dream and make it happen, I think I need to leave college. You're just a little too comfortable, I think, there, and I think your chances of really playing overseas, if you go through all 4 years of college, gets significantly slimmer. So I
Okay,
left after the first year to try and make it.
okay. Someone is asking if you're left-footed or right-footed, or you use both feet.
Right-footed, definitely, but more than capable of using my left foot.
All right, all right. I mean, people, don't worry. We're gonna get to the La Liga situation. If I answer that question right now, then hey, come on. Then what's going to happen to the rest of the interview? We have to build up to get there. So just give us some time. So let me. So you look at the national team right now, right? We have. Presently in our setup, we have a Ethan Pinnock who plays for Brentford. We have a Liam Moore playing for Reading. We have Damian Lowe that plays in Egypt. We have Adrian Mariappa, who has been a staple in the Premier League for several years. I mean,
Mhm.
how do you think like you would match up if you were called into a situation where you have to like bump one of these guys out of the out of the national team?
Yeah, I mean, of course, you just try your best. You put your head down. You go through the work, and the players you just listed are no doubt incredible players. As a player myself, I like to think that given the right opportunity and circumstances, I can make a difference. But of course, those are all great players, and all you can do is compete with them. You can do your best and hope that that the coaches also agree and see the value that you offer.
Yeah. Listen, in on these platforms, right? We have the very what they call they are good football analysts, and so one person is asking, "What is your passing range like?"
Wow, you have some astute viewers. Wow. I'd like to think that it's a good passing range, but answering questions like that can be difficult. More than anything, I would like to be able to show it rather than just say it's a good passing range. I would imagine pretty much everybody comes on here and says, "Oh, I'm great at this and this and this." You won't believe it until you see it. So more than anything, I would love to get the opportunity to come in and show it.
All right. So what I'm going to do for you all people, right? I'm going to find a couple of clips with Kyle, and then we're going to come back to the video. So let's see if we can do that. Kyle, we're going to find a couple of clips of you so the people can see that, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So don't worry, people. We're going to let you see as much as we can, so you can make your own conclusion, or draw your own conclusion. So. All right. So let's see if we can get this going. All right, so there you go. Some people. That's some highlights, and people always say that. Well, that's highlights. We want to see the
True.
real deal, so we are going
True.
to.
I agree.
There, yeah, yeah. There, there are some other clips that are available that we're going to put in the description, so you can go and check them out. So let me just get some more of the comments that are coming. I'm telling you, these are very, like I said, very astute person. And one person, this is a special ad- edition, is saying simply, are you ready for the work and ready for the challenge that is ahead?
Of course, that's what I'm here for. Love the challenge.
You love the challenge, all right?
Love it.
And because the Jamaican support is very hard, and I mean, I don't know if you have experienced that, but we can be very, very tough when it comes down to criticizing our players. And so, are you ready for all of that?
Of course. I think it's
Okay.
good when the fans and people that support keep a high standard. I think it's important to trying to get a team to be as good as it can be.
Yeah. And this person is asking which defender's game do you admire? And maybe you can tell us why you admire that particular
Yeah.
defender.
Definitely for me, Thiago Silva. Since I was a little kid, I've wanted to be like him, and I was pretty sure I wasn't going to be a huge hulking center back. So I wanted to pick somebody who I thought really read the game well, who really plays through their skill and through intelligence. So I've tried to model my game after his, and I'm a huge fan of his.
Okay, all right, great. A lot of one person, this person said Wayne Sawyer says you defend similar to Liam Moore. Do you know Liam Moore?
I know of him. Yes, sir.
Right. So he plays for the national team and he plays for Reading. Do you follow do you follow the national team right now, the Jamaican national team?
I have, but not as much as I should have. Just because I didn't have again any way to get to it, it seemed so far off that I really had just been watching, whatever had come on. I hadn't gone out of my way to watch Jamaica play too much.
Yeah. And Mark Chambers is saying, have he made any contact with the JFF? This is really the beginning, right? This
Yes, sir.
is this is the beginning of that process, Mark Chambers, because I want you to know that he has a sister that maybe when you see her, you're going to say, wait, but his sister is better than him. I don't know.
She is
So
very good.
she's very good and she wants
Very
to
good.
represent Jamaica as well. Some person was saying that you're very comfortable on the ball as well, very calm. All right. What is the highest level he has played at? Okay. Um, so let me get this one. What is the highest level you have played at in the US? I think that would be
I played a little bit of USL, but not too much there, just because the contracts are very difficult to get out of, and because my dream was always to play overseas. I didn't want to sign a contract that wouldn't allow me to trial and do anything else.
okay. Because some of us don't understand that. So could you explain that to us? So if you sign a contract in the US, it limits your ability. Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying too?
but like any team where your goal is to win, which I understand it's a business, if you say, hey, I have a really nice trial at this first division Spanish team, if the team has you under contract, they're very likely going to say, no, we don't want to let you go. We have a game that week, or we don't want you to be tired when you come back. We need you at your best. So that's why I've kind of chosen not to go that route, and more than anything, just try and trial.
Okay, so and that's what you have been doing trials, and now you have one coming up
Yes,
very
sir.
soon.
Yes, sir.
In probably a month, well, a few weeks or so. So tell us a little bit about that, and what is that looking like? Where will you be going, and what are your expectations?
So we're still working out the final details, but yes, coming up in the next month or so, I have a trial coming up with Real Sociedad. So that's a huge one, and something that I'm beyond excited to get to have. I mean, it's a top club in a top league. It's not every day that you get a trial like that. So I'm definitely very excited about that one.
So because we need to be clear now, are you talking the Real Sociedad that is in La Liga, or there's a Real Sociedad somewhere else? That
The Real Sociedad in La Liga, yes, sir.
Okay, so you you have a trial. How long will the trial be?
We think it'll be about 10 days is normally what they do. So
And
you'll go 10 days over a 2 week span.
how does that work? After the 10 days, say they say, all right, Kyle, listen, man, you're the man for the job. We
Mhm.
want to sign you. What does that look like for you?
Yeah, that definitely is the result that I'm hoping for. Sometimes they'll say, you're the man for the job, but maybe not for us right now. We'd like to sign you and then loan you out. There are a lot of different outcomes that could come of it. And anyone that has me signing, I think is a brilliant outcome. And I would be more than happy to do so.
Okay. All right. So he answered that already. He's not presently playing for any club now because he has chosen the route of going on trials. I think. So maybe you can answer. Are you playing any sort of competitive football now? Because I mean, you're going into a trial in a month or so. How are you keeping yourself in shape?
Yes, sir.
Heading into that. Yeah.
Yes, sir. In the U.S., there are these tournaments that get played for money, 50, 60, 70, $80,000. So a lot of teams or owners will try and just get a collection of players, and they'll fly players in from professional leagues, in Honduras and Chile and Argentina, Mexico. And I've been playing in those. So you get to play against some pretty high level competition week in and week out in these tournaments for money.
Okay, and that is more competitive than the USL. But well,
They
you
have
see,
USL players in it, yes, sir. So
okay.
it's a similar level, yes, sir.
Okay, but what you're saying is that you don't want to be tied up to a USL contract, which would limit your opportunities to
Yes, sir.
go on these trials. Okay, all right. So the other question is, I mean, because one of the things to represent Jamaica, number one, you have to get citizenship and have a Jamaican passport. Are you
Yes,
anywhere in that process yet?
yes, sir. Working on that right now.
Okay, meaning you're working on the citizenship aspect, or you're
Yes,
working
sir.
on the
Getting dual
passport
citizenship and getting the passport. Yes, sir.
and getting the passport. Okay, is the process difficult, or is there anything that needs to be
So
done to
far, I haven't run into too many issues, but it is again early on in the process. So we'll see, and hopefully we don't hit too many road bumps. But I think it's going well so far.
All right, and what is the FIFA rules? Seeing that you played for Trinidad and Tobago at the U17, do you know if that would hinder you representing Jamaica?
Yes, sir. It should have no issue. It was only a few caps, and if my understanding is correct, because it was the youth level, it should have no impact on my ability to play for Jamaica.
Okay, okay, all right. So let me. This is one of the big questions because I know how the fan base is. So I want to ask you the tough questions because I know. Well, maybe they're tough for me, but they're not for you, right? So, personally saying that, listen. Normally, when you go to Europe or to play in Europe at 24, a lot of those guys are already seasoned pro,
Absolutely.
right? You look at like um Paul Torres, those guys were in Villarreal's team um from 1920. No, you're just going there. How do you think that whole matchup will work, seeing that they have players already 1920 coming out of their academies into those leagues, and you're 24? I mean, how difficult you think it is, and how you.
Yeah, I think it's undeniable, and it's very clear that I'm significantly older than the average person who's trying to make that happen. But ultimately, at the end of the day, all you can do is work with what you have, and all I can do is do the work, go there and show my best self, my best product, and how I play football, and hope. At 24, they're going to certainly expect me to be a more polished product than their 18, 19-year-olds, and my hope is that that is the case, but that's really all you can do. You can't worry about it too much, otherwise you might as well just quit.
Yeah. I see a Liverpool fan here saying that you you're very eloquent and composed. You're the signs of a Liverpool man. which, so let me just ask you that which club do you support?
Yeah, I'm a Spurs fan.
Oh yes, 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 yes. So you know that people will go end the interview right now because Spurs fans and Arsenal fans
Yeah,
don't really like work well together. So we go have to. I'm just kidding. Let's not do that. But Yeah, he played. I'm switch right. So this is the question we asked earlier. Why you played for Trinidad under 17 special edition is asking why are you now finally, you know, making this decision to switch your allegiance to Jamaica instead of continuing with Trinidad?
Yeah, a lot of it just has to do with the level of football. I'm not 100% sure that my game suits Trinidad's, and the football that Jamaica has been playing over the last couple of years, I think, has been incredible and definitely moving in the right direction. And to get to be a part of that would be, special. So it's really mostly just down to I think Jamaica's playing great football and is looking better and better.
Okay. All right. Um, so here's the issue now. All these people are who is not kissing the teeth, hissing their teeth. Some are saying they're laughing because you're a Spurs fan. This
Oh
is a
no,
this is a Liverpool fan right here. Not a Chelsea fan. Dre, anyway, that sport, big up yourself. He's telling you that London is blue. Are you sure you don't want to change? Just
I
like you're
can't do it.
switching
I can't do it.
allegiance to Jamaica, you don't want to change from Spurs to Arsenal, maybe?
I can't do it. If I was gonna do it, I probably should have done it a while ago.
Okay.
But yeah, I got to stick with them.
All right. So this is Jay Taylor. He's asking, he's a Jamaican over there in one of the Scandinavian nations or countries. He said, man, can you ask if he's studying the style of play in the league and the team he's going to try out for, because a lot of the players overlook those things can and which end up causing them.
Yeah,
Meaning, are you like studying what is happening in the league, or how the team that you're going to, how they play, what is their style of play? Go ahead.
yeah, that's a great question, and yes, I do. I'm not only careful with studying and making sure that I think my game fits, because you don't want to go over there and try and change your game to fit somebody. You want to try and pick teams that fit you. So yes, I definitely do study them, and then I also try to be careful about which teams I'm really pursuing. And of course, you're not overly picky, but if you do have a choice, you'd like to pick somewhere where your brand of football seems to match what they're willing to accept. And a place like Spain, where you have a number of center backs similar sized and who tend to be a little bit better on the ball, for example, might be a slightly better destination than a Germany or something where center backs tend to be much larger.
Okay, so that's what you mean. So you kind of intentionally look at a place that fits, that your style of play would fit into,
Yes, sir.
than to go somewhere to change how you play.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that makes sense. All right. Um, Someone is asking if you were injured, because it doesn't seem like you played a lot of league football since your year in college, which is 2015 was the last year in college.
Yes. I have had some injuries. Yes, sir. But again, there was the time in Portugal, but yeah,
Yeah.
there were definitely some injuries in the meantime. And again, it can just be difficult finding the right situation to play in.
Yeah. See, you're getting one Tottenham fan right here. So we need to get you in England. Because uh, he's a massive Tottenham fan. But they're also asking, can you play any other position? Demo Dre's asking, can you play like right back? Yeah.
I can play right back. Generally,
Have
if I'm
you
not
ever
playing
played
center,
any other position? Yeah, go ahead. Just
yeah,
explain that to me.
generally if it's not center back, it's defensive midfield more. But I'm capable of playing right back. Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other position? I mean, outside of being a center back, what would you say is your next best position?
Defensive midfield.
Defensive midfield.
Yes, sir.
Wow. Do you know that right now one of the places that we struggle in the national team is in the area of defensive midfield?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
So you would be willing to, I mean, I know there are persons probably in the federation here in Jamaica will be watching this, who will be probably checking out the video, looking at your clips and seeing, because it's one area where we need we have, let me say, as a nation, we have struggled in this one area over several years now to find a good defensive midfield. So it's good that you can fill in that spot if needed.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. Which club he plays for? No, he doesn't play. He's not connected to a club now because he goes on trials to Real Sociedad in a month's time. Dre Milo or Milo TV. think that is right. Yeah, yeah. All right. Who? Yeah. So what happened is that some of the persons they are coming. They come on. They come on late, so they keep asking some of the questions that we have gone through already. So yeah, but I know. So let me ask you again. I mean, you played for Trinidad at the U17. Um, but you want to switch, you want to change allegiance to play for Jamaica. Your grandmother, you have connections through your grandmother to Jamaica. Have
Yes,
you
sir.
ever been to Jamaica?
No, sir, I haven't.
What? All right. Okay. So, but do you understand? Do you understand the culture and how things work here? How people are? Yeah.
I mean, I've definitely come in contact with plenty of Jamaicans, but no, I don't want to say that without being there, I really know everything and understand everything. I definitely need to take a trip.
Yeah, yes, 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 yes. Listen, people, so this is what we do at I Am Sure Sports. We find the talent everywhere. I mean, and we we highlight them so people can see and people can know. Here it is that uh, could it be that we have found a gem, someone who could step into the national team. I mean, as you know, we have a cycle of World Cup game going on. We have 2026. We have Nations League coming up and all of that. And this is a man who, from all indication, could go to Real Sociedad and really, really have an impact there. And then um, we just never did what we're supposed to do. And we lose our next talent. So we're glad, Kyle, that, I mean, you want, and I mean, one of the things I appreciate is that you're making the effort to get all the necessary paperwork. That if the
Mhm.
opportunity presents itself, you'll be ready to represent Jamaica. Now people are asking for your IG because they want to follow you and track your future. So
Oh,
you gonna have to. These are Jamaicans are they're gonna check your every move right now. So you're gonna have to give them your IG handle.
I actually don't have Instagram or Twitter or anything. I'm at the point in my career right now where I think it's very important that I just stay focused. So I try to keep the outside distractions to a minimum and just get the work
Yeah.
done.
You hear that, Demo? Demo, he's trying to stay focused. And these IGs and Insta and all of these TikTok, they're outside distraction. The man is focused on his career. All right, all right. So, I mean, why should Jamaican fans embrace you? Like say, okay, well, I mean, if you could speak to the Jamaican fans about embracing you right now, what would be your words to them, or if you have a plea
Yeah.
to the federation, what would you? Yeah.
I mean, I would love an opportunity. I don't know, maybe it sounds weird, but I don't think you should embrace me without seeing me, without watching me play. I don't think you should support me until you see that. And more than anything, I would just like the opportunity to show you guys what I'm capable of doing. And then from there, we can talk about support and whether or not, I'm somebody you'd like to have and all of that stuff.
So and then Lamoy Thorpe is saying, will you keep us up to date? I mean, with what is happening, how will we know? Because you don't have IG, you don't have Facebook, you don't have Insta. How will we know what is happening?
We can have a follow up call, or hopefully you guys will see some newspapers with a big picture of my face and a smile saying that I signed.
Okay, okay.
Real Sociedad signs Jamaican from yeah. So
So what would be that's the next question. What will be on your when they say Real Sociedad signs? Will it say American? Will it say Trinidadian? Or will it say Jamaican? Because that's the next big thing now.
yeah, we'll definitely try and get it to say Jamaican.
All right, that's a good one. So there you have it, people. We have Jay Taylor who has joined the stream, so we have around a few minutes to go because people we also are going to interview shortly after this. We're going to interview Kyle's sister, who is uh, she's going to be representing us at the under 17 level. That's the Jamaica national team, and she's probably good enough to play in the U20s for the female team. So looking forward to that. All right, and I see they're speaking about your personality and mannerism. And so they're hoping that you get the opportunity to prove yourself, which is what we all need. Just the
Thank you.
opportunity to prove ourselves, and then after that, whatever happens. All
Yes, sir.
right, but let me add JTL, and then he will my co-host for this, and then he will ask a couple of things. Go ahead.
All right, Kyle. Bless up yourself, Kyle.
How you doing?
Uh, I wanted to ask is which one of the marquee leagues would you say would be your ideal league that matches your style of play if you had the choice to choose one of those leagues right now?
Yes, sir. I would say ideally either La Liga or Serie A. I think you want for somebody like me who values or thinks that my ability on the ball is one of my better assets. You're going to want something where physicality isn't the thing that's praised most. So maybe slightly slower leagues and leagues based more on the possession of the ball.
Okay. As far as your agent is concerned, is this did this tryout come through the like the work of your agent, or you or this was based on scouts from that specific club?
Um, Currently, my father is my agent, and if I'm honest, you would have to ask him. I always say I just show up with the boots and play.
Okay, okay. Definitely, definitely. So what's your let's say you and you're currently in the US.
Yes, sir.
Why didn't you choose to play in the USL? Did it you didn't did you see it that it wasn't going to aid your progression?
Yeah,
That
that's
was a
exactly right, sir. Yes, sir.
okay, okay.
I think if your goal is to play overseas, I couldn't see how it was really going to help. Yeah, it gives you, I guess, a level of regular football, but if they won't even allow you to go for a trial or something like that, if your ultimate goal is to be somewhere else, it just didn't make sense. So I understand it's not the most traditional thing, but for me, it seemed like what was the best decision.
Oh,
Let me just jump on the all right, so let me help you now, Kyle, because what you have is that this is how the Jamaican fan base is. We want to know, they're going to want to know everything that happens as it relates to your footballing as of today, right? So
mhm.
everybody is asking, how are we going to follow your progress? And I know, I know you don't have, but is there some way that they'll be able to check up on you? Because I don't want to tie you down to coming back to the platform every time something happens, right? But
Yeah,
how are they going to, like, they want to? This is just how we are. We follow our
Want to
football.
track you.
I
Yeah, we want to
appreciate
track
it.
you. We want to know when the plane lands in Real Sociedad. We want a clip when you step off the plane when you're training.
Mhm.
How are we going to? Maybe we need to talk to your agent, your father, and find out how he's going
Yeah,
to keep
maybe.
us.
But you have my number, and we can stay in contact, and we can keep everybody up to date.
Yeah, because everyone is asking. I mean, I see the coach's desk who he also runs a platform, just like this very good platform over there. Military Guna is one of the
Hmm.
local Jamaican. He runs a platform. Dre Anyweather also does that, and we have all of these, Mr. Special Edition. We have all of these vloggers who that's our job. Our job is to find the talent wherever they are. Um, Help to get them connected. And I'm going to give you an example, right? There is a player called Anthony Grant who just came into the national team. He plays at CDM. And the truth is that it is vloggers like us who, I don't want, we didn't force the hand of the federation, but it is because we're putting information out there that they finally made a decision to check the player out. And
Mhm.
he is now becoming a staple in the team, like the core of the midfield.
Yeah.
And I mean, we want to see you doing good so we can now begin to, yeah, put the word out there in the places so people can know about you.
Dissect.
Yeah. So we'll work on it. All right. Jay Taylor, what else you have?
Yes,
Yeah.
we can't let you escape on this one, Kyle, because the USL has been a hot topic on these forums. You stated you chose not to go into the USL. What was one of the what are some of the things that you saw in the USL that you thought wasn't going to contribute to you progressing? Was it the style of play, the coaching, the intensity, or if you could just dive in and let us know?
Yeah. So it's twofold. One was the inability to continue to trial, And then the second one is, I think, a problem that's somewhat unique to the US in that our leagues aren't connected to one another. So,
Okay.
regardless of how well your team does, it's not guaranteed promotion. No matter how poor your team is, it's not guaranteed relegation. So, the upward mobility or lack thereof, I think, was a
Yes.
big factor as well. In that, because there's not a direct route to like the MLS or something that will get more eyes on you,
Mhm.
it's a kind of strange predicament it can put you in.
If you could just explain to us, you said you're not allowed to try out. What's the stipulation surrounding the USL and players not able to try out?
It can be different for different teams, but just depending on the team you're playing for and the coach, it's a
Mhm.
business and they want to win games, which I completely understand. But if it's not in their best interest to let you trial, if it's not in their best interest to allow you to go somewhere while they have a game, they just won't do it. Um, and
Okay.
and the prospect of that, of saying, for example, hey, I have a try at Real Sociedad in a month. Can I go? And they say, no, sorry,
Oh
we
God.
need you. I couldn't. It didn't sit well with me.
So you feel the league doesn't ultimately put the player's career first in as
Yes,
far
sir.
as progression is
Yes,
concerned.
sir.
You spoke about, you played in some, you said it's a league that you like on the weekends that you get paid to play. Um do you think that does that benefit you in the way where it gives you that team vibe where you're playing constantly in a team where you're around the team? How often are you around the team? Is it a team that's assembled on the weekends, or are you guys are having regular practices, or what's the
Yeah.
format like?
Yeah, I play for a few different teams, and I guess depending on the size of the tournament can determine whether or not um, the team is kind of just assembled or it's a team that stays together more regularly. So for smaller tournaments, if you're only playing for 10, 20,000, which I guess is a little bit of a smaller size, they might just assemble a team. But if you're playing for the 60, 70, 80, a lot of times you'll be with the team and training with the team pretty regularly for, a month or two in the lead up.
Okay, one more question before I hand it over to Mannings.
Yes, sir.
Um, as you know, so you said you chose not to do the 4 years in college. As you know, Andre Blake, he was probably one of the
Mhm.
first number one picks as a goalkeeper. Um, Darren Mattox, he was also a high draft pick. So you think being drafted highly in the USA as a draft pick, you don't think that really sheds light on your talent really, or enables you to get the looking that you would like to get? Was that what you're trying to say?
Not quite. I absolutely think it can be. I just think it's a little different for everybody and depends a lot on the program that you play for. At the time, I was playing for the University of Pittsburgh, which wasn't the greatest school in terms of like record and stuff. So I was concerned with the number of eyes and probability of actually getting drafted.
Okay, and as far as your high school play, were you was it a full ride to Pittsburgh, or
Yes,
were
sir.
you it
Yes,
was
sir.
a full
In
ride?
high school, I was playing at DC United's academy.
Okay, you went to an academy. Were you a first team all state American, anything like that in your time in high school, or?
I didn't play high school ball. I just
Okay,
played academy for DC United. Yes, sir.
okay, you just played academy.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
so what can you explain to us what the academy is like in that way? Because a lot of us kind of have the idea of what the academy is like in the UK, or what's academy like in the US structure. If you could just elaborate
Yeah,
a bit.
it's, I would imagine, somewhat similar to in other places. It's kind of both a feeder system for the top team as well as an opportunity to get more eyes on you for
Mhm.
college. So for me, it was the opportunity to get a number of different colleges to see me regularly and ultimately, allow me to get a full ride to university.
Go
All
ahead,
right.
Manins. Thank you.
All right. So people, listen. So Kyle, it was so great having you. Listen, my hope is that your trial in Real Sociedad um goes really well, and
Thank you,
that
sir.
you seal a contract there.
Yes, sir.
Um Whatever we can do, we are going to ensure that we do it from this, because I believe the fact that you can qualify to represent Jamaica, at least be given the opportunity to. And I mean, and I'm hoping that opportunity will be soon. I mean, it it may not be before the end of this year, but hopefully, in next year, as your career improves and get better, yeah, then I think that will work. And I
Yes,
mean,
sir.
you only can do what you can do, which is be the
Hmm.
best at your craft, and then left the federation. But
Yes, sir.
I know that as vloggers, and like I mentioned, some of them, once we are able to track you and know what's happening, and you're doing well, we will make, we will put the sound out there. I don't know if you go after this, probably have an Instagram where you just focus on just what you're doing in football wise, and this is just for your Jamaican folks. That's it.
Mhm.
Listen, this is, if you're not in Jamaica, don't do anything on this Instagram. I will not respond. But
Okay.
we really, 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 I mean, want to wish you all the best. Listen, this is such a joy, because I know your sister as well, she's making contacts to represent
Hmm.
Jamaica as well. And there are many other persons like this in the United Kingdom, the United States, in other places, who want to represent Jamaica, but they don't even know that they can.
Yeah.
And I am glad that you found that out, and you're making an effort to. You're doing things on your side, and and again, I know the vloggers in here, they are going to do what they can do, as long as they are tracking you. And if you are quality and they
Hmm.
see your quality, I guarantee you that the pressure will be on for you to get your opportunity. Of that, I am sure. That's the name of the channel.
Yes,
When I
sir.
tell you I am sure, I am absolutely sure that the coach's desk, Military Guna, Ryan LFC, uh, Simon Preston, Reggae Boys commentary, Sports Down the Middle, the Formula Sports. You see how many names there are? Dre Any Weather. All of these guys will be on it non-stop, 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 right? To do it. So we're looking forward to that. I
Yes,
know
sir.
one person is asking, what year did you play? Well, it would be seven, it would be eight
Yeah,
years ago.
I don't know. You'd have to do the math on it. That's not my strong suit.
Do you remember what age you were? Were you
um,
17, 16, or
16,
15?
17. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
so 16, he's 24 now, so that's like 7, 8 years ago. I suspect I'm not very good at math, so
yeah, me
maybe we
neither.
calculate that. Yeah, right. So um yeah, so I hope your trial goes well,
Thank you, sir.
and that you get connected. It would be good. It would be good we have someone in the Belgian league.
Mhm.
We have players in the EPL. We have someone going to France to play now. I don't know if we have ever had a Jamaican playing in La Liga. So this could be historic.
Oh, it would be an honor to
Groundbreaking.
be the first.
Huh?
Groundbreaking.
So it would be an honor
Groundbreaking.
to be the first.
Yeah. This would be groundbreaking and trend setting. But we are going to allow you to go. Is there anything you want to say in closing, Kyle?
Um, Nothing more than thank you guys for having me on, and thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. It means the world to me.
All right. All right. Thank you so much, Kyle. So Kyle is going to go listen. And then we have Kyle's sister who is going to come on right after Kyle, and we're going to speak to her. So thank you, Kyle. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Yes,
And
sir.
yeah, man, we will be in touch.
Thank you guys.
Right? Thank
All right, there you go, people. That was Kyle Braithwaite. He's sweating. I don't know. I mean, but we have his sister. She's going to be coming to speak to us next. But I just want to just pause right here and just remind you of the sponsors of our stream today.
Jamaican herbs and spices add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
Yes, a big thank you to our sponsors, Trick Nick Cooks, right? Listen, here's the thing. you can get 25% off on all Trick Nick products, right? 25% off everything you need for your jerking stuff. You can get it, right? Right. If you want to jerk pork or fish or chicken, whatever it is, 25% off. Just use this code. I am sure sports 001 and you get 25% off. They are in Canada, right? But they use Jamaican produce to make their products. So check them out, Trick Nick at www.tricknick.ca. Please listen, people, you have to hit the like button. If you have not yet subscribed, subscribe. Before I bring in the agent and the better baller in the family, you have to hit the like button. If you don't hit the like button, you're not going to see the best baller in the family. All right, you have to hit the like button. So hit the like button right now and please subscribe to the channel. All right, Wayne, have you hit the like button? One, have you hit the like button? I'm alive. Have you hit the like button? Jason, hit the like button. Shut up, must hit the like button. Come on, hit the like button, people. And if you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Great content. All right. We'll be sorting out the super chat very soon. But in the meantime, in between time, just hit the like button. All right. But I'm going to invite this is Dad, the agent, the coach, and the best baller in the family. And so I'm going to invite them to join the stream right now. All right. Welcome, Christian.
Hi.
And is that Father Braithwaite? How you doing?
We're good. How are you?
Well, doing good. I mean, you guys have the stream buzzing. Everyone wants to hear about you and what is going on and why you guys want to play for Jamaica and all of that wonderful stuff. But before we get into that, I want you to just take some time and share with us your name and where you play, your age and all that, your favorite position, and what is the strength of your game and all of that. And then you can always ask that to whisper in your ears the correct answers to whatever questions I may ask. Go ahead.
So I'm Christian Braithwaite. I play usually as the 8, but I can also play as the 6. I'm 16 years old. I play for the 03-04 CSA ECNL national team, and I guest play with the 05 boys national team, the Barca boys national team. My strengths, I would say, are probably my dribbling and my passing. That's what I do best. I'm pretty strong on and off the ball, and I'd say my soccer IQ is pretty high.
Yes. So, hi. Did I get a clip? I need to. Did I get a clip, Dad?
Yes, you did. I sent you one.
In the same document that I have because I played one of Kyle's. Is it in that same document?
No, it's a link all by itself. I can drop it in the WhatsApp if you want.
Right, drop it in the WhatsApp, and then we'll play some clips so you can see. We can see what Christian is doing. So Christian, right? So you play as the number 6. How long have you been playing football? When did you start playing? And who is your coach?
Well, I've had only one or two other coaches other than my dad. I started off when I was about 8. I wasn't that good, so I started off with just a rec coach. But then throughout the years, I was my dad as the coach, and then we've met another boys coach. So I've mostly played with boys for my life. I just recently started playing with girls, actually. So about until age 9, until this year, I've been playing with boys, and my dad is the coach.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, you have been watching the Jamaican teams, the female team playing. I know they have a game. Do you know any of the Jamaican players at the senior or the junior level?
Bunny. Just Bunny.
Just Bunny. I've watched some of it, but haven't gotten completely familiar with it. Been very busy with soccer. We're about to go to Washington for some important games, so I've just been studying up on some other games.
Okay. All right. So all right, you watched Bunny. I know your brother said at the U17 he played for Trinidad and Tobago, right?
Yes.
I mean, you played for Trinidad and Tobago as well, and you want to change for Jamaica, or this would be your first national team representation if you were to be called up to play for Jamaica?
This would be my first national representation. I've been scouted by the U.S. national team, but I haven't been on the actual team yet.
Okay, so big question, right? I mean, maybe Dad will have to answer this. So you have been scouted by the U.S. national team. What if they were to say, "We want you," right? And Jamaica comes calling. What would you do?
I would be very excited. My grandma's from Jamaica, so it's like in my roots. It'd be incredible to learn more about all the culture and everything, and to just be able to play. It would just be such an experience.
Awesome, awesome. Well, you know that Jamaica defeated Costa Rica by a goal to nil today. All right. Which footballer do you admire the most? I mean, male or female?
I would say from the France national team, I've always had a liking to Nasib or Luisa Casemiro, I think, as she got married. She plays my same position, and she's always been really technical, along with a playmaker in the midfield. So I've always looked up to her.
Okay. So, Dad, tell us a little bit. What has it been like, coaching? Yeah, coaching your kids, and to see them being what we call big stars now, big football. How has that journey been for you?
It's a unique one. I've got 6 children, 4 of which play football, and each is different in themselves. So trying to train them in one standard form has become a challenge. So you have to edit your training, edit your developmental practices, and even edit your relationships, because it's very tough to be both coach and father, because those emotions can spill into each vein and each avenue. So I have had to learn how to individually appeal to their senses of development and what they're going to absorb. So it's been a lot of interesting practice, but it's a joy. I enjoy watching vicariously the talent that I used to have in a very modest amount compared to them. So it's great to see them do it at a much higher level.
Yeah. What I'll say, Christian, is you have to learn the Jamaican language. We don't say soccer, right? We say football. Right. So somebody just said that in the comment section. Say, is it football or soccer? But we know what you mean. So right. All right. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to share some highlights of Christian, so you can see that, and then we'll come back and speak with her a little bit more. So let me just share these highlights with you. All right. That's it. So you want to hear what everybody's saying? She looks strong and technical. She's a she's a turn. She has a turn in the middle, like Ravel, which is Ravel Morrison, who plays for the national team. No joke, great. Let me put up some of these comments and then we get one. No joke, great close dribbling. All right, good in tight spaces. Good baller, right? I mean, you know, she looks good, right? She's a deal, right? Very good with the ball, great ball, IQ, excellent baller. All of these comments coming in, all right? They also said that you're from a family that has very high footballing IQ. So I don't know. But yes, so some of the questions are because we have part of what is happening with our national team is that because we haven't been playing a lot of football here on the island, a lot of our players are recruited from the States and out of England, right? At this point. And so that can be very difficult in terms of persons getting their citizenship and right. But how is that process going for you guys in terms of getting the necessary paperwork? Because I know that there is an under 17 camp that is taking place in Jamaica sometime in November into December, and then they're having one at the end of December into January for the under 17 competition, CONCACAF competition. How close are you in terms of in the process to get all the necessary documentation?
Well, I'm in the process now of kind of finishing and filling that out, and I'll have that probably hopefully expressed out the next day or so. And then we'll have to wait and see what we can do to maybe expedite that. I have been in contact with the U20 coach Xavier, and so he's going to try and help assist with some of that. So, she's going to have. We're going to give her every opportunity to be available for that camp if she can. I know he's looking at her both for the U20s and maybe even the senior team. She's played up her whole life, and she plays
Whoa.
with grown girls now. And we have a couple NWSL teams that have invited her to come play for their reserve team and their post college team already. So
Whoa.
she's already used to playing 3 and 4 years up, so that's not a problem. So we're going to do everything we can to expedite that and get that done as best we can so that we can make sure that she's available.
Okay. Do you believe that, Christian? Do you believe that you're at the quality right now that you could step up to the senior team and make serious contribution?
That's the hope, of course. I train every day, all day, basically. I just put in the work. So the hope is that I would just be able to get out there and play like I know I can play and what I've been training for and just put it out there and be able to provide something that maybe other people can't.
Okay, that is awesome. Here, someone here saying again that you're past the under 17 level. I don't. Yeah, seen what I've seen. I mean, I know it's highlights because, but it can be hard to find good highlights, and the fact that you have the highlights mean that you're good because those are not made up highlights. And so the question is maybe the U17 is not the level for you now, based on where you are at in terms of your quality. Maybe the U20s would be a better option for you at this time. But is there any aspect of your game like you think like, okay, I mean, here is what I know that I need to work on to be the best I can be. There is always room for development, but if there is one area that I need to develop, here is the area that I need to develop.
The area that I've been struggling with the most with the girls, from the girls game to the boys game, is a completely different game. And with the girls, it's mostly my movement off the ball. I'd say when I get the ball, I can do a lot of dribbling and moves and be able to provide attack. But sometimes my movement off the ball, when I have a man marker or something, just be able to create a distinct movement so that I can get the ball even more.
Yeah, yeah. And let me just share with you that Lacey and Murray, Jody Brown, Khadijah Shaw, all of these guys started playing for the senior team at 16 and 17. So it's not because we never had the kind of footballing culture on the female side. So when the nation started, we were using a lot of players out of our high school. Like I said, the Bonnie Shaw, Jody and Brown, Lacey and Murray, all of these persons were the persons that we're using. So it is not. I don't think it's a bad thing for you to be getting reviews and to be looked at in terms of the senior team, because from what we have seen, you look like you're a star in the making. And so kudos to your father, because and I always hear people say it's not easy to coach girls. So I want to ask you that how does that work? I mean, you have a son who is who is going to La Liga, and then you have a daughter who is now developing. How difficult it is in terms of coaching female, though she's your daughter, right? And she wants to go and eat, and you want her to train. She wants to, she wants to go and do her nails and her hair, and you want her to train. How does that work for you, Dad?
Well, I'd be telling a fib if I didn't tell you while she was young, she was so much like a boy and she'd only play with boys. It did not vary very much. Her idol was her big brother, so she just tried to copy and emulate him. And she was in a good environment where all the boys allowed her to be herself. So I didn't have a whole lot of that. Now that she is older and she's developing as a female and a woman, that's becoming more difficult as she gets older because she does want to do things that are more girl oriented. But when she was young, I would take her and her brother out on the pitch for hours at a time, and they would just pass the ball at grown person, levels and pace and strength, and she would just keep going and going and going. And so by the time she was in her female body, as she gets older now, she'd already developed so much more like a boy, reading the game like a male, playing like a male. I mean, she plays now with the U17 national level boys, and we just played a team the other day where the coach had to have one of his boys mark her the whole game because she kept taking them apart. So it hasn't been that difficult. It's more difficult now that she's older and becoming a young woman. That becomes the challenge now, and there's more emotions all tied up and all the hormones are at full speed. So I struggle now more than I struggled then, but I'm trying to figure that out. I'm having to do that, and I've got two twins behind her, a boy and a girl, that we're going to have to replicate this all over again. So this process just becomes repetitive. So it's one after another. First her brother Kyle, then her, and now I got two twins that play 2 years up, and one's a girl, and she plays in the boys level as well, 2 years up at the highest level. So it's just a process, and I have been blessed enough by the Lord to figure some of those things out, and it's a cookie cutter process. So I replicate what I can, but I am an absolute student of the game and want to learn from those that have got some things to impart upon me. So I learn every day, and hopefully it gets a little better.
Yeah. All right. So let me ask, Christian, so where do you see yourself? You're 16 now, 10 years from now, what league? Being a professional footballer, if that is the case, playing what league? Where, scoring how many goals, winning what sort of championship? Where do you see yourself? And then I'm going to invite Jay Taylor. He's here with me as well, and then I'm going to ask him to ask you a few questions. And so 10 years from, maybe 10 years is too far. Maybe we should go 5.
Well, I just hope to be doing it all, basically. I hope to, of course, I want to be a professional soccer player. That's just been the dream. Yeah. I had a chance, hopefully, to go to Barcelona and possibly play for the women's national team there. So
not the women's national team.
The women's pro team, sorry. The women's pro team, and play there. So wherever I end up, I just want to be able to play football, basically. I just want to do it all, win everything. I'd love to score so many goals and just make a difference.
All right. But just a suggestion, right? Instead of going to Barcelona, why not go to Arsenal? or to Manchester City and just give some assist to Bonisha. But that's cool. Barcelona is.
I love that opportunity.
Barcelona is okay, but I think Arsenal is, and you know what? Like the team that Jamaica has that played against Costa Rica, so many of them play in England right now.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think that would be, a good option as well to look at one of those teams. But Barcelona is okay. They defeated Arsenal, but I'm an Arsenal person. I support Arsenal. So I think you look better in Arsenal colors.
We don't disagree, but we're not picky. We're not choosy. Yeah?
All right, but let me invite. There you go. Don't be surprised if she's in the WSL within a few years. There you go. A lot of good props you're getting. But go ahead, Jay Taylor, with your questions for our guest.
His microphone's not on.
You're muted, Jay Taylor.
Okay, I want to say good afternoon, Dad, and good afternoon, Christian. My first question is what are some of the things that you guys, like both of you could answer? what are some of the things that you guys are doing on and off the field to prepare for the international game?
I train 4 times a week at least, usually 2 times a day, sometimes more. So, working out is definitely just a huge part of my life. It's football and working out, and then just school. And then, other than that, it's basically preparing my body. So, lots of ice baths and stretching and stuff to keep my muscles loose, and just perfecting my shooting a lot. I go out and do that to make sure my technique is right. Eating right, of course, is important. So,
Okay, all right. You have anything to add to that, Dad?
Well, it does help that her older brother travels quite a bit and is very versed in that. And I learned and studied, from the IX Football Academy, La Masia, things like that. So I've got a lot of international exposure and experience. So while training them, I try to impart some of that on them so they understand the difference and the nuancial difference between, the domestic game and an international game. So if they're fairly adept at that. I mean, obviously it comes at a much different clip and pace when you're immersed in it and you're experiencing it at that moment, but they are training for that. So we're not training for the domestic game, we're training for the world's game.
Okay, and good job, Kristen. I can see that you're a quick learner. You just switched from soccer to football. That was really good. My next question is, obviously, I'm assuming you're still in high school. How do you balance school by trying to have a normal life as a teenager, and as well as potentially becoming a pro football player very soon? How do you balance those things?
I'm currently doing an online school, so basically homeschool, so that my
Okay.
schedule is more flexible, so that I can go out and work out in the morning or work out in the afternoon and just get the work done at my own pace. So that's definitely been a big help. So I can, do some assignments and then go work out and come back. And there's not really a penalty if something's late if I happen to be out at a tournament. So it's been helpful as that aspect, along with my parents have been helping me, help me with my schedule, just keep me on task sometimes when
Okay.
I need to. But I've just had a really amazing opportunity to be able to just go train, especially with Kyle, go out and train with him sometimes when he works out. Um, it's hard to balance it sometimes when there's a lot of work due and a big test coming up, but football is just my passion. So then even when I don't get to hang out with my friends a lot, it's just an outlet for whenever I'm angry or just want to play. Sometimes it's just, I just love to play it.
Okay, that's a good answer. And this one is for Dad. Uh, you have four. You said you have four kids that are playing football currently, and
Yes.
you're probably a part of their development. How do you allocate your time evenly? Is your time based on who you think has the most potential, or who you think can go the farthest in their careers? How do you allocate your time
I
equally?
love that question. I am blessed with one thing because of the environment that we help create. They all play in a sense together. So three of the four train almost at the same facilities and same times every day. So the twins, which my younger ones are, I coach their '07, '08 team. So Christian goes to her girls practice, during that time, and then comes down to the boys when I switch to the '05s, the U17s, and I merge them together. So she gets the benefit of, again, adapting and getting used to how girls think and move since she's played with boys most of her life. And then she comes down and gets to continually improve the process of her technique, her pace of play, and her thought process because the boys move so much faster and think very differently. So every day, 4 days a week at least, or 3 days a week, she gets to experience both of those. And my worlds merge very, very, very harmoniously. So she comes down, she finishes up with her twins because I merge both the '08s and the '05s and '07s all together because I believe you push them as far as they go and you let them go as much as they can. You don't hold them back. So it's a chance for the younger ones to get much, much better. And it's a chance for the older ones to test their technique without having to use their physicality. Are you quick enough? Can you deal with the numerical disadvantages? A lot of little people that you might not necessarily see in your purview while you're dribbling and moving and passing. So it's a good way to start having them turn their heads, get more aware of their spatial opportunities and things like that. So I haven't struggled with that because the Lord's been
Mhm.
kind enough. My worlds line up very nicely. So because
Yeah.
I work for myself, I can adjust my day to make sure I train them, and I can adjust my nights to make sure they get what they need for me. So I don't have to split my time or focus on one or the other. And I don't know who has the most potential. I'll leave that to the Lord and let him figure that out.
All right. One more question, and I hand it over to you, Manins. Dad, I know you have a lot to do with her development. Christian, do you find any challenges in the way your dad teaches you the game, and when you enter certain teams, how different coaches want you to play? Do you find a little conflict there, as how the game works for you?
There's not usually a big conflict, of course, as I'm a teenage girl. We don't always agree on everything sometimes, but ultimately I know that he's already experienced everything, and my older brother's been successful, and he is my idol, kind of. So just listening to my dad has always been a big part, knowing that what he says is the right answer, basically. And most of my coaches have been really supportive of my game, even when it's different than other players with the way I dribble sometimes. They've been really supportive and just mostly had the same things that my dad has to say. So it hasn't really been a big issue with most of my coaches or the players or anything. Most of the teams I've been on just let me be me and just let me play how I'd like to. But ultimately, it's just listening to my dad every time. And even when I have a disagreement and I want to argue, I have to just, put that in the back of my mind and know that he knows what's best and he's trying to get me where I want to be.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Nice.
Well, listen, thank you, J. Taylor. Sir Braithwaite and Christian. Listen, I want to thank you so much. Listen, like we are, if I follow the comments, we are in awe, right? Because to hear that you have a son who could possibly play in La Liga and a daughter who, based on what we have seen, could be representing the national team. It is an awesome thing. Rarely do you find a male and a female in one family who is good at football. Maybe in some other sport, but this is uncommon. And so, first, I want to say that you are not just a good coach, but it shows that you're a good father. And as they spoke, so many persons, even when Kyle was speaking, they were speaking about his mannerism and how he responded. It looked like you not just coach them to play football, but
Yes.
how to be
Handle themselves.
Christian and how to be Kyle, and that
Yeah.
is important. And we really appreciate that. I'm hoping, and whatever we're going to do, we have many vloggers in here. We have the coach's desk. We have Military Guna. We have Dre Anyweather Sport. We have, oh my lord, I don't want to forget the name. Sport Down the Middle, Ryan LFC. So all these channels are going to take these stuff and run with them. What I mean, run with them, they are going to know. Listen, JFF, where are you? Go and get them. Go and get them. You need to call them because they're asking how can they follow. I know none of them are on social media. They don't want to be distracted, but you need to set up something that we can track their career. We want to see when they are going to on the aeroplane to the next game. We want to know when the game is going to be played so we can watch it, because now they're a part of us. They can't change again, because anywhere they go, we're going to tell people that they are Jamaicans, and that's our Jamaican right there. So we're going to be listening for the name, looking out for them, and I hope that for. The under 17. I don't think like your quality says to me that the under 17
Small.
is below your standard.
It's
I
a,
could
it's
be
a
wrong,
small.
but maybe you just played for getting into the minds of the people. But you should be in the under 20s. You should be in the under 20s, and I hope that the tournament next year, that all the paperwork is done, and Mr. Xavier Gilbert and the technical committee um, keeps in touch with you. And so I want to thank you for your time, and we believe that this is a good thing for both of you, and I mean a lot of credit to your father for the work that he has done. Yeah, and I'm glad that you have chosen Jamaica. We all are. We all are. And I hope people, please let us ensure that nothing goes wrong that could ever change their mind. Just tell me, Mr. Bradwick, would anything change your mind? I hope nothing don't change your mind. I
No,
mean, you're
we've set our path. We're enjoying
Okay.
the opportunity, and she looks forward to it. I
awesome.
have taken a lot of care to try and build her, but I also take care in where I place her. And I
Yeah.
don't do that lightly. So the coaches that have affected her development and helped her to continue to develop, Todd Sykes, Brian Moore, Philip Poole, guys that some of them I'm probably forgetting their names, but they've all helped mold her. I didn't do it on my own because I needed their support and I needed their system. And sometimes a different voice can be a better voice or an added to it. So, we take care in our decisions, and this is another decision we thought about. She wants to represent Jamaica. I wanted to represent Jamaica, and I wanted her to be proud of both her heritage and the opportunity that presents itself. And I think I would love her to go and help affect in making and placing Jamaica as a world power nationally. She has the power and ability to change and dictate and dominate a game. Why not do it for Jamaica? That would be exciting for us. So I look forward to her doing something outside of the normal tracks that sometimes people take, or the easier ones they take. For instance, I like the challenge. I wanted to build the national team up and help so that more and more players develop, and eventually we become in the same breath as France and the US and things like that. So I look forward to that.
Yeah. People, there you have it, right? Kyle and Christian Braithwaite, future stars in Jamaica's football, men's senior national team, under 20 female and women's senior national team. Not just playing friendlies, but taking us to World Cups, right? And being competitive in the World Cup, right? You see the female team is it is so competitive now. And I'm telling you, we're not just going to the World Cup next time around in 2023 to participate, but to win games. And so I'm so glad that they have chosen. And this was such a great and refreshing interview. We are so grateful. Again, thank you so much. And all that we can do from our side, we are going to do that to ensure that the process is completed, and that you're wearing the black, green, and the gold, and singing Eternal Father, bless our land, guide us with thy mighty hand. We are looking forward to that. Again, I want to thank all the persons in the comment section for joining, for giving your support. Right in this, but listen, I have a next person. Her name is Avery Johnson, that as soon as we finish this stream, we're going to be interviewing her because she also wants to represent Jamaica. So we're going to close out this stream, and I want all of you who are here now to like this video if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, and then just jump over to that next stream and watch that interview, because these young ladies they're intelligent, and they have high footballing IQ, they have good parenting, and they are going to be world beaters when it comes down to female football. Kyle, listen, we need to know what is happening with Kyle. So he says he doesn't have an Instagram. Yeah. We need to know when the plane arrives. We need to know when he gets up to go to the first training session. Yes. We need to see all the clips and stuff. I'm telling you, we may send some agent in Spain to check up on him because
Kyle is urgent.
Yes, so thank you so much, Mr. Braithwaite, for allowing us to speak with your family. And we will be in touch as this process continues. Thanks, Jay Taylor, for joining. Thanks to our sponsors, Tricknick Catering. Again, 25% off on all their products. Just check them out at www.tricknickca for anything you want to jerk. This is the place you need to shop. Check the description. I'll also be plugging the highlights of Kyle in the description and the highlights of a Christian in the description, so you can go and watch their channel, watch their videos on YouTube, and see how good they are. All right, we're going to find a way that if they are playing any games and it is being videoed, if we can get a stream to the game, we will let you know so you can actually watch them in a game. We are going to work on that for you people. But thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day and remain blessed and remain safe. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Jamaican herbs and spices add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
I am Sure Sports. You know me there, I'm coast to coast representing. I mean, I say this is Righteous representing for Omar. You don't know, come get your sports over here from near and far. Boy, 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 boy. Me say I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know no game play, that me not say it. If me never seen a game, me not know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here so. For the day done, you a go love over here so.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crap of players. We are good enough. Remember to like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment. Let me know what your thoughts are.